Hello everyone, we are from Group 5 Section 2 and this is our presentation for the Object-Oriented Programming assignment. Today, we will be showcasing our project called the Eco-Friendly Transportation Advisor and it supports SDG 13 Climate Action. My name is Tija King and I'm the group leader for this group.
Consult application empower users to make eco-friendly transportation choices by calculating emission based on travel mode and distance, and recommending greener alternative. It is written fully in Java, grounded in object-oriented programming principle, and backed by real-world emission data. Let's take a closer look at heart of our project, why we build it, how it works, and the impact it aims to create. Hi, my name is Dikajan. I'm studying Bachelor Computer Science, and this is my first year SEM 2.
Hello guys, my name is Mudathir Mustafa and I'm studying Bachelor of Computer Science.
Climate change is the most pressing challenges of our time. In fact, according to the IPCC, the transport sector alone contributes nearly 24% of global CO2 emission. Many people underestimate how much their daily commuting choices add to this footprint. Our solution, a simple data-driven consult app that calculates carbon emission per trip and provide actionable suggestions. This direct support UN SDG 13 climate action, especially Target 13.2 integrate climate measures into national policies and planning. Target 13.3 improve education and awareness on climate change. We want users not only visualize their environmental impact but also feel empowered to reduce its.
So as you can see, I'm gonna explain this diagram. So first of all, the user will run the process, then it will output interior mode of transport between brackets car, bus, train, and bicycle. So the user have to choose from these four transports. So after this message will be output, the user will input car, bus, train, or bicycle as mentioned in the display. So after he chooses one of the mode of transport, it will output inter travel distance in kilometer. So in this case, he will put any any number. So like one till hundred, hundred till 200. It doesn't matter. So he has to input any number. So the user will input random number as you can see in the diagram. Then it will display suggestions for greener alternatives, car, bus, train, bicycle, either the other three if you pick one. That means that if the user picks car, it will show the bus, train, and bicycle suggestions. If he chooses the bus, it will display the car, train, or bicycle. So depend on the user what he chose to be his mode of transport. So in that case, it will show the other three transport that he didn't choose. So that's all, and I hope you have a good day.
My name is Tija King and I developed the emission calculator. This module loads emission factors from a CSV file and calculates the total CO2 based on the user's input. It uses file reading arrays and methods to run the CSV file, and I will showcase it in the main Java. I will run it, and so like it says car or what, right? Just simply type 10. So the emission calculator is like calculate how much like the CO2 does, like, and it gives you like, basically it's just calculation, and I will just explain what what all this code is all about. So import java.io, import java.util is like you import like the code from the emissions.csv, and we got the public class emission calculator. We got private final map string double emission factors equals new hash map, and this is basically it's like you want like emission factors to become a new hash map, right? Then public void load emissions data string file name try buffer reader br equals new buffer reader new file name. This is like basically for like you to like load the emission data, and like for you to read the file that is in this like emission.csv. And while line equals br dot read line not equals now, and this is like an example format of like the float, like how much the CO2 they emit, and string parts equals line dot split rejects. Let's skip this first. Emission factors dot put parts 0 trim dot to lowercase double dot press double parts 1 dot trim. So this basically is to like, you can do like lowercase, you can type lowercase or here on here, and it will generate it. And catch IO exception E system.out.println error reading emission data plus e.get message. So it's like if if that is not a like valid like data, right, they will like put this error reading emission data, and you get the message. Then public double calculate emissions, it's a string mode double distance double factor equals emissions factors dot get mode. If factor not equals now, return factor times distance, return -1, like, which is invalid mode. Public map string double get emission factors, return emission factors. Really, like, you get back the emission factors like here. Yeah. So basically, this is all of emission calculator .java has to offer.
So, today I'm going to explain a Java class called User Input Manager. So this is designed to handle user inputs with proper validation using the scanner class. So in line 1, as you can see, this imports the scanner class from Java's utility library. So the scanner is used to read input from the user through the console. And as you can see in line 4 and 5, so these lines defines a public class called user input manager. Inside it, so we create a scanner object named scanner, which will read input from the keyboard using system. and it's marked as final, meaning we won't change this reference later, so you can't change it after you make it. So in line 8, 9, 10, as you can see, this method asks the user to input their mode of transport. So as you can see, the mode of transport, there is four: car, bus, train, and bicycle. So the user will input one of these uh, transports as he should. So it prints a prompt, reads the input line, trims any leading or trailing spaces, and converts it to lower cases or consistency. So this helps avoid errors due to differences in capitalization, like if you write car like C capital, A capital, or R capital, or all of the letters in lowercase. So it doesn't matter if you put it lowercase or higher case. So as you can see, so we move on in line 14 till line 29. So this whole method asks the user to enter a travel distance it uses while through loop to keep asking until a valid input is given. So when the user inputs his mode of transportation, so he will move to the next level and choose the distance of that transport that he chose. So inside the loop, the scanner gets the input. The double tries to convert the input into a number, and if the input is not a number or is zero or negative, an error message will is shown, and it's repeat. So if the user puts a valid number or a positive number, he will go to the next section. And if the user wrote negative number, it will show distance must be positive and will try again until it's valid. So if the input can't be parsed to a number, so the number format exception is caught and error message is shown. So when it's valid, when he writes a valid number, if the distance is a valid positive number, the loop breaks and the method retains the distance. So this means that he must put a valid number, not a negative number or invalid number. So this whole class is useful in application where we want to make sure that the user give us clean validated inputs for things like transport mode and distance. It prevents crashes and ensures the program runs smoothly. So we need this program to make sure everything is good and it runs smoothly and no no mistakes are done. So yeah, so that's all. I hope you enjoyed it. So
Hi, I'm Dikajun, and I'm going to present the third module for our application, the Green Advisors. The future play an essential role in helping users take climate action by recommending greener alternatives to their current transport mode. When a user inputs their transport choice and travel distance, our program calculates the resulting carbon emission. But instead of just stopping there, this module steps in to analyze the entry dataset and suggest better options, those with lower emission for the same unit. Here, we are looping through every available transport mode. We calculate how much CO2 each one would emit for the user distance, and if it's lower than their current choice, it gets printed as a green alternative to keep the result clean and readable. Here is an example of the actual output. This is not just a code, it is a real climate awareness tool. By encouraging users to consider options like public transport or cycling, we are directly supporting SDG 13 Target 30.3, educating and raising awareness about ways to reduce emissions. In short, Green Advisors turn a simple calculator into a advisory system, empowering users to make sustainable choices.
I'm DJ King, and now I'm going to talk about the extra features or error handling. So let's see here. The only extra feature here is main.java and the emission.csv. And emission.csv is typically for emission calculator. It needs the data from here to calculate the emissions that is going to run in here, right? Like this line. So let me talk about main.java. Like for main.java, I will explain the code one by one. And first and foremost, like public class main is a typical thing. Public static void main string args. User input manager equals new user input manager. It takes this user input manager from here, like the data from here, the code from here, and make it to a new user input manager that you can use later on. And same with emission calculator and also green advisor. And calculator.load emissions data, file name emission.csv. So you want to load the emission data from the emission.csv, as I said just now from the start. And string mode equals input manager dot get transport mode. And this typical like thing, input manager is from user, and you can get transport mode from here. Yeah, from here. And we go to double distance equals input manager dot get distance. So this is like you want to get the distance from the input manager, like same here. You get the distance, and the distance must be positive or it's going to be invalid, and you need to try again later on. You run the code again. And double emissions equals calculator emissions mode and distance. This is like you get the emissions from here, right? And let me see. Yeah, you get the calculations from like emission calculator, like all this, and it will like put in here. You want the mode and distance, bro. You want the mode and distance, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And if emissions is smaller than 0, it's gonna print out invalid transport mode. So it needs to be like more than 0, and return system dot out dot printf. You estimate CO2 emissions and the rest of it, and it going to advise the greener options for mode emission calculator and get emissions factors from here and distance. Let's run it again. Let me run it so I can talk about all the stuff. Okay, let's X this and let's try something new. Like let's type airplane. It's not going to work, right? It's like, and we type 1, it's invalid. Let's try another thing. Run again. Then you type car. Then you type 0 travel distance. Yeah, the distance must be positive. That's what it said over user input manager, right? It says that your distance must be positive. yeah, you need, or it's like going to be invalid. Like, let's run again. Stop and rerun. Let's try another one. Let's try bus. Bus, and we try going to type 10, and it's going to suggest for greener alternatives like for this. And typically it's going to suggest the things that is like better than your transport. So like I think there's nothing else, right? That's all of main.java of the functions that I said. So yeah, that's it, man. Okay, so I'm now going to talk about the reflection part, and I think that our app directly supports SDG 13 by helping users reduce their personal carbon footprint. It encourages users to use greener transport options and promote awareness of daily climate impact. This is true because we calculate the best alternative like transport for, let's say, like car, bus, like all those things. You can take a better solution than car and train and bus, all those. And I think what we could do better is we could have implement more transports in, and we could also maybe do a report model to store data. And basically I think I learned a lot in by doing this project, and I hope to like do more of this in the future. That's all. That's it. Thank you.